As many of you know, my staff likes to have me watch TikTok videos, and the reason for this is they hate me. They just can't figure out harsher revenge to take upon me. Thanksgiving is here, and many of us will be praising God for his creation and for the blessings of life and the fact that we have food to eat and live in this wonderful, about to become wonderful country. And, there are many people who hate all that, right? They hate God, they hate country, they hate food, they hate their relatives. We're going to watch some videos from people who hate Thanksgiving. This video is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Go to expressvpn.com/Andrew Klavan Show and protect your online data.
I just told my parents I'm not coming to Thanksgiving dinner. I said to my dad, I do not have the emotional energy to be around people who are not involved with their own healing, who are not authentic, who are fake, who have these different ideologies. I don't have the emotional availability to meet that this year, so I'm out. I can't come. Thankfully, I have a father who respects that, who didn't pressure me or push me or make me feel guilty. I know a lot of people don't have that. And I'm glad I'm finally listening to myself and not putting myself in situations that are just going to be so draining, and respecting this lower season that I'm in. Because so often I've had these low seasons and I've just pushed through everything and come out on the other side feeling worse and spiraling deeper. And now if I carve out the time to surround myself with spaces or places that at least don't steal energy from me, that's a win. So here's permission for holiday season. You don't have to go. If they're going to take something from you, you don't have to go.
I like that he said his father was gracious about accepting his not coming. His father was probably very gracious and then hung up the phone and said, honey, he's not coming this year. We don't have to listen to that crap. It's a fascinating thing that this guy can't be around people who don't do their own healing, while he's obviously like an angry, seething, delicate little guy.
He's an angry elf.
I actually, listen, I don't want to make too big a joke of this. I do, but I'll restrain myself a little bit, because I understand that some people have toxic families. Some people have toxic families. But if you don't and you refuse to go, you might actually be the toxic person. If you're the one who can't forgive your sister because she said something she shouldn't have said, if you're the one who can't deal with your mom because maybe she's a little bit, differently politicized than you are, if you're the one who can't, be nice to your dad, even though he says things you disagree with, maybe the toxic member of your family is you. Hooray. So go to Thanksgiving and forgive everybody and eat food, and thank God you'll be much happier. All right, more misery. Let's hear it.
I just had to set my first big post-election boundary and say that I am not going to Thanksgiving. And the response that I got was, I know we all want the same things. We just have a difference of opinion in how to get there. And I just stared at it, because how could you have paid attention in these last few months, in these last 10 years, and think that we all want the same things? Like, my kids are going to lose federal funding for their schools. My books are going to be banned. My daughter's safety is going to be put in jeopardy. My friends, if they have a miscarriage, won't be able to get care. My trans friends and LGBTQ friends are actively fleeing the country because they're fearful of their lives. I have a friend who's telling her daughter that she can't apply to certain schools because she doesn't know if it's safe for a brown girl to live there anymore.
These people, this country of their imagination, these people are living in is terrible. It's terrible. If I were living in a country like leftists imagine they were living in, opening the border would be no problem, because people would just be escaping. They wouldn't be trying to get in. They wouldn't be trying to get in if they actually lived in the country that they think they're living in. They would be like, open the border so we can get out of here. That's not happening. Have you ever seen anybody swim from Florida to Cuba? They're saying, it's not a thing. There's sharks in that water. You only swim in one direction because our country is nothing like the left says it's like. Here's the thing, though, that I just legitimately, if you really feel like I can't understand how the people who raised me, who fed me, who provided me a home, or the people who are most closely related to me by blood, if you can't understand why they voted, how they voted, here's a pro tip, all right? Sit down with them, break bread with them, have turkey with them, drink some wine with them, and say, I have to be honest with you. It's hard for me to understand what it is you saw in Donald Trump. It's hard for me to understand how you think that could be a good thing. Maybe you could explain it to me. People have actually said that to me. Not my family, because they won't have Thanksgiving with me either. But still, people have actually said that to me. And I've done my best to understand, while, of course, calling the police to report that they're gay and black, because obviously gay black people have to be Oh, I forgot. I've forgotten. For a minute, I thought I was actually the person that leftist woman thought I was. People always say, don't talk about religion and politics, but maybe you could talk about religion and politics with understanding and openness. Nah, I don't know. I don't know why that occurred to me. It's just a wild thought went through my head. Using the internet without ExpressVPN is like using your smartphone without a protective case. Most of the time you'll be fine, but all it takes is one vulnerable moment to wish you had taken precautions. Every time you connect to an unencrypted network at cafes, hotels, airports, you're exposing your personal information to potential threats. And in today's digital landscape, cybersecurity isn't just for tech experts. Basic hacking tools are readily available, and your personal data can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars on underground markets. That's why I use ExpressVPN. It creates an encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet with security so robust it would take a supercomputer over 1 billion years to breach. Think of it as a digital fortress for your personal information. And the best part is ExpressVPN is remarkably user-friendly. Just open the app, click one button. It works seamlessly across all your devices, phones, laptops, tablets, ensuring comprehensive protection wherever you go. And right now, you can take advantage of ExpressVPN's Black Friday Cyber Monday offer to get the absolute best VPN deal you'll find all year. Scan the QR code on screen, click the link in the description, or visit expressvpn.com/Andrew Klavan Show to get 4 extra months with the 12-month plan or 6 extra months with the 24-month plan totally free. That's expressvpn.com/Andrew Klavan Show to get an extra 4 or even 6 months of ExpressVPN for free.
Speaking of Thanksgiving, the worst holiday possible. Am I right?
How dare you?
I hate Thanksgiving. I'll say
Explain. Why do you hate it?
You sit around and eat, and you unbutton your pants, and you watch football all day.
Does your family usually get together for Thanksgiving? Do you like that?
Yeah!
Are you doing Thanksgiving here? Or are you going somewhere? Are you going to Caitlin's family?
We're doing it here.
Oh, see, I don't like an LA Thanksgiving. I really don't. I don't like an LA Christmas either. I like to look forward to a holiday. I want to get out of town. If I'm having it here, it's just another day.
I think the takeaway from that video is get out of LA. The mistake that people make when they get out of LA for a vacation or for Thanksgiving is that after that vacation or Thanksgiving is over, they go back to LA. That's where you make your mistake. See, that's the thing. Once you get out of LA, keep going. Just keep going. That'll solve all your problems. You won't care if you're eating turkey or steak or just like a piece of white bread that you're stuffing in your face to keep yourself alive. You'll be like out of LA. It's like, wow, this is wonderful. There's actually a country out here with nice people in it and beautiful scenery and all this stuff and no billboards all over the place. It would be great. So I think that's the takeaway there is they think they're talking about the misery of Thanksgiving, but they're really talking about the fact that they're in Los Angeles and they're just unhappy because that's what happens to you when you're in Los Angeles long enough. That's not a Thanksgiving video. That's an LA video. That's where their misery is generating from. All right. More.
I cannot tell you how many times I have been over to my white friend's house just for them to tell me later all the racist things their parents said about me after I left. Like, I don't know about you, maybe this is just like a me thing, but I just don't find racism like funny. And I'm not asking people to cut off their family or stop attending events or even start those uncomfortable conversations. I'm simply asking you, why is this funny to you? Why would you want people to know that you find it acceptable and entertaining to be complacent to bigotry? Because white people pull this all the time and then get upset when called out on it.
Why is racism funny? Because it is kind of funny. People laugh at their family's racism because it's their family, they love them, but everybody has flaws, and so they may think, well, it's a flaw. Obviously, if they're inviting you to your Thanksgiving, they love you and they want to include you, and it's their relatives who are a little racist, and so they take that with a grain of salt, and maybe so should you. How much happier would you be? Because people would say, yeah, I'm inviting you into this world where my parents are a little older, and maybe they hold some old-fashioned ideas. I was once invited to a Thanksgiving when I was a young person. Obviously, I don't know exactly how to put this. I'm a Christian now, but I'm racially a Jew, and then I hadn't converted yet. And my friend said to me, I just want to warn you that my grandmother is a little bit anti-Semitic and sometimes she says things about Jews. And I said, that's fine, because sometimes I say things about anti-Semites. And they invited me and she didn't say anything. Maybe she said it after I left, but that's none of my business. And it's none of her business what these people's relatives say after she leaves either. Just enjoy yourself. God, life is a little bit more complex than any philosophy describes it as being. Go have Thanksgiving. Enjoy yourself. All right, another one.
Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, this is a cancellation. I know this is the time of the year where the family members get together, ain't it? Greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, turkey better with the dressing, ain't it? Wonder if I put a little bit of blood on the turkey, would it elevate it? Bloody, bloody, bloody people of color. Cut them, shoot them, burn them, leave them to suffer. This song is not about pilgrims and Indians meeting each other and feasting for supper. This is about millions of Indians villages burning and bleeding for nothing. This about all my descendants in Africa happy and acting like we ain't discussed it. Y'all be saying that ain't the reason we celebrate it. This about giving the glory to God and the time that we spend as a family, ain't it? That was so long ago we wasn't even alive. We gotta accept the changes. Sounding just like the white kids that be saying forget about segregation.
Well, that certainly proves one thing. Rap music sucks. I mean, I wonder what you would celebrate in life if everything had to be weighted with the sins of the past. What would you celebrate in life? What could you celebrate? Nothing straight was ever made of the crooked timber of the human heart. But at least when you take the sins of mankind, and I recognize that everything every day of the year is weighted with the sins of humankind. If you take them and you put them in a rap song, then you not only have the sins of humankind, but you have crap music and crappy rhymes and the sins of mankind all together. I can't remember where I was going with that sentence, why that was a good thing. That doesn't sound like a good thing. Stop the music, stop thinking about it, just enjoy, what is here today. And yes, we should forget segregation because it was a bad idea and we don't have to remember it forever. By the way, Thanksgiving was actually gathering with the Indians, the Native Americans, and sitting down together in comedy and goodness. And it is a tragedy. It is a true tragedy that didn't last.
So in public school and in Hollywood and the Western media, they portray this false narrative that Native Americans and Pilgrims, also known as colonizers, came together to celebrate coexistence with one another. The history of Thanksgiving dates back to 1621, and it included the colonizers and the Wampanoag people. This image here, it's like a false narrative that they're peaceful coexistence, when in reality, the Native people of this land were not only colonized, but they were killed. It was President Abraham Lincoln who declared Thanksgiving a national holiday in 1863. This was happening during the Civil War. He set the Thanksgiving date to the final Thursday of every November. Reality is that Thanksgiving roots off celebrating the genocide of Native Americans in this country. It's really important to understand that settler colonialism uses erasure as a tool to write history in a wrong way in the white perspective. It's important for us to take our control back, take control of the narrative.
Yes, I think you should take control of the narrative, be absolutely miserable, and miss the holiday. By the way, settler colonialism, I'm for it. I think that, people moving in, higher civilizations moving in to backward civilizations is only an improvement for everybody. I'd leave out the killing. I think the killing is bad, but I don't think that colonization is, empires tend to be the most peaceful places of all because the most advanced culture takes over the smaller cultures and brings them into line. Always good to have a tolerant empire like Rome and America that leave people to have their cultures, but not necessarily a bad thing. And you know what else is a good thing? Sitting down with your family, eating a great meal, and thanking God for the fact that you exist. The odds against you existing are almost nil. The fact that you are here, that you are experiencing anything, that you are capable of love, that you're capable of being a grumpy, crappy, ugly person, hating your family and not going to Thanksgiving, all of those things are amazing gifts that didn't have to happen. Thank God, because he made you. What a wonderful thing for him to have done. He may have a plan for your life that he wants you to come and find him through love. That would be a thing, right? Yeah, you could try it. It would be different. And forget it. Happy Thanksgiving. If you're a cranky leftist who hates everything, break your habit and like and subscribe. And also subscribe to The Andrew Klavan Show wherever you get your podcasts.